God, you're gonna love it.
Hey folks, welcome to the AI Chicks, where we're providing you cool conversations about AI for all. With each episode bringing you a different topic on how AI is impacting your and our daily lives. I'm your host, Aisha Wynn, always bringing that fun, unique perspective on tech. And I got my bestie here.
Hi guys, I'm Lana Hout, and I'm bringing the curls, the charisma, and that entrepreneurial energy. Today we're talking about AI and digital identity. So if you have video, pictures, your voice, audio, anything online, this applies to you.
Which is everybody. And we have an amazing expert joining us, Luke Arrigoni. He is the co-founder of Loti. All right, you guys, let's get into it.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, folks, we are here with Luke Arrigoni. Luke, why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Hey everyone, I'm really happy to be here. My name is Luke Arrigoni, and I am a co-founder and CEO of Loti. What we do is we search the whole internet. We use face and voice recognition to find where you don't belong, and we issue takedowns.
Oh, I like that. You're like the digital identity police.
I know. He's like
Yes,
AI
ma'am.
911, you know?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you typically do that for celebrities and kind of clients that have really an established brand and they just want to make sure that their content isn't being misused, or they just want to do a general scrub of the internet?
There's a broad spectrum. Yes, you've identified our core customer really clearly, which is really famous people. They have to be concerned about their name and their likeness, because it's misused to sell bad products, or they're deepfaked for misinformation, or impersonated online. Now, there's a number of ways that we say they are where they don't belong. But yes, public figures are our largest client. We are trying to develop other products. Right now, we are building a core suite of tools to help public figures.
Well, that's
Nice.
so awesome.
Yeah, I have so many questions.
I know.
But before we get into this, we have to definitely hear what AI has to say. And for this episode, we're hearing from Gemini. Roll that.
According to Gemini, AI presents both exciting opportunities and challenges for digital identity and likeness. On one hand, it can be used to create realistic avatars and virtual worlds, potentially enhancing online experiences. However, it also raises concerns about misuse, such as deepfakes and unauthorized impersonation, which could lead to misinformation and fraud. Safeguarding individual rights and establishing ethical guidelines are crucial as AI technology continues to evolve.
I feel like that's pretty spot on. I also feel like we just said that. They listened to us three, and then they just took what we said and echoed it back. No, I of course I agree. I think that those are the big things we worry about.
I was actually surprised that it didn't get into more of the type of services you do, or more around protection of AI and likeness. I felt like it was playing it safe.
Yes.
I definitely thought that it was going to cite more examples as well, because, you know, in our industry with entertainment, you have companies like your company, but CAA, Metaphysics, there's all of these companies that are working with celebrities and just any public figure to scan their likeness, search the web to make sure there's no unauthorized use of their likeness. It didn't really get into much of that. Was pretty surprised that it gave as generic of a response as it's done, because in the past and in our other episodes, we've seen some of the AI tools really get in there. Gemini was a little vague. It was playing a little coy.
It was a little Switzerland.
Yeah, it was a little coy with this episode.
Lack some specificity for sure. Yeah.
I think when people talk about digital identity and protecting digital identity, a lot of the times it's for public figures. I am someone who, well, obviously we have this podcast, and so we have a lot of content that goes out as us in this podcast. But then I also, in my own career, I do a lot of videos as a business broker. And so a lot of these tools that have come up, these video generating tools that will create an avatar based off of your likeness, I've been really hesitant to use. I don't want to use a tool to create an avatar of myself, but then they own my voice or my likeness,
Yes.
or that they're even going to use it to generate other avatars that are kind of me 2.0, if you will, change my eye color, change my hair color, and they think it's a different person. And so that's been a real concern for me, and I'm sure for other people who are accountants, attorneys, anyone who really does anything online and has a snippet of them talking or being on video.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy to take a video clip and do a deep fake.
Well, and also too, we've seen a lot of new platforms that do lip sync dubbing tools where you literally can just upload a picture and make the mouth move to say anything you want it to. So it could technically impact anyone with an image of themselves online, which, because of social media, that's a lot of people.
We have to talk about rights because rights are really fascinating. You mentioned it. One of the things that it was really popular maybe a year ago in Los Angeles was there was this descent of startups that were coming and telling talent, hey, give me all of your digital rights and I'll help navigate you through the AI world. It was very like, in my mind, it was predatory in ways, right? Because you're basically telling these people, give me the thing that makes you money, and trust me, I'll help you make more money with the new thing. Now, rightfully so, Los Angeles largely rejected these startups. They were just like, I'm not going to entrust an exclusive 12-month right of all of my likeness to a startup. That feels pretty crazy. And so while we never had any intention to do that, we spend a lot of our process in our sales cycle. We explain, like, you keep your rights, fire me when you'd like. I promise I don't make money off of you. Like in that way, like I'm not putting your face on anything. I'm not training on your performances. I think any AI startup or anyone that comes to play in the entertainment space needs to have a lot more respect for that aspect of the business, which is you're not coming in asking someone for exclusive rights to drive their Camry. Like, this is their life. Like, this is their face and their voice. It's their creative outlet. It's also their income. And it should feel insane if your business model relies on them giving you exclusive rights to that. I would say that your intuition there is really good. It's like when you're like, I'm really concerned about when I use this cool avatar thing for my business, do they take my rights? Actually, that's been a business model for a number of startups. You should be wary. You should, unfortunately, read some of the fine print there.
Speaking on that, I think one of the earlier celebrities to do it was Tom Hanks. So we can talk about that one. I know about some other celebrities that I won't out. But when someone is taking the initial step and looking to be ahead of the curve to do some sort of strategic partnership with their agency, like a CAA, a UTA, and then they're partnering up with a AI company that is helping them scan and protect their likeness, basically control that authorized journey. What does that look like?
This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
Well, we work with CA a lot. We work with WME.
I know. That's why I'm acting like I don't know. So I can get you to talk about it to the listeners.
So I have to say that if you mention a proper name, I cannot confirm whether or not we work with them or not. So just as a big disclosure, my clients really do appreciate their privacy. It's the whole reason they come to us. So I can't get too name droppy. But I will say, we get top tier talent from all of the large agencies. And when they come to us, it's typically a few different reasons, but sometimes it's crisis, sometimes it's preemptive. Hey, I see this thing coming in the market and I really want to be mindful of it. But oftentimes it comes because like one of their fans was defrauded. Like a deep fake was made of this talent.
That was happening to some.
Like you have those types of scenarios, and they are really just looking out for their fans. And so they'll actually pay us to go and protect their fans, which is incredible. And I wish I could name drop all of these celebrities that like literally pay money to protect their fans, not even themselves. But there's a huge contingent of really amazing talent in LA that wants to tackle the problem themselves. So to make it a little bit more boring, they'll come to us, they'll sign the contract, says, yeah, Loti, you can take things down. We take a few pictures of them, very plain, no AI, no makeup. And then we use those pictures to basically process the whole internet. We eat the internet every day. So every day our we boot up a ton of GPUs and we download everything that's been uploaded that day, and we look for our client. And then they get this little portal that says, hey, based on the pictures and the audio clips you've given us, we found these things, and we'll issue like 1,000 takedowns in the first day or more every day, depending on who they are. But there's kind of this rhythm of there's a problem that shows up, and then we tackle it in a very systemized way, and then they get kind of a boring dashboard of like, here I am everywhere, and the takedowns that have been successful.
No, that is really great because, I think with digital identity, there's two parts. The right part, which is what you just finished summarizing for us. But I think then there's also the deep fake part. And the deep fake part is not just about, on its face, someone taking your likeness and using it for their product or their service where you didn't authorize it. I think obviously that's wrong, and that's one issue. I think the bigger issue, in addition to that, is having them use a deep fake of you, and you being a celebrity, myself, the everyday person, and having you say or do things that are not aligned with your ethics, morals, belief system. These deep fakes look so real.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's such a scary thing in this time of technology.
Well, and not just technology, even to just a time of society. Depending on what's about you on the internet, you cannot get a job. You can get canceled.
Cancel culture is real.
Yeah, a lot of things can happen even within your personal like relationships, family and friends. If something comes out about you,
So I'm really excited. I'm going to jump in on that one.
yeah, jump on in.
Yeah. So we talk about this as defense versus offense. There's a defense approach when we talk to public figures around, hey, there's bad actors out there. They're doing things with your likeness. They're selling things pretending to be you. There's even explicit content, right? Mm-hmm. And we can find all that and take it down. And then offense is, okay, now that we've cleaned up the internet, would you like to be in a contract that's AI? Like, would you like a digital twin of yourself doing something? Because now there's more control, and they can tell us the aspects of the contract they'd like us or like the other party to adhere to. Things like distribution rights, like you could put it on YouTube but not TikTok. Or you can have it out for 6 months. Windowing periods are really big in our space, right? And so you could say, well, after 6 months, I want it deleted off the internet unless they want to buy an extension. And that's something we're capable of doing. We give this framework around defense versus offense. And then there's one other thing you had mentioned, which I thought was great. You're like, it can destroy lives the way that some of this works, especially for the everyday person. Unfortunately, if public figures, they'll have explicit content, lots of deep fake stuff made of them. And of course, they want that to come down. Of course, they deserve privacy. But it feels extra overwhelming if you're an individual and you don't have a massive legal team to go tackle that, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first built the product, we had tested out on a few people that had this problem. And their feedback was simply, this like gave me my life back. I was worried about every interview I went to. One was like a second grade teacher, and she was just like, I was just worried I was going to get fired one day. And by the way, by no fault of them. Like this is, this is just someone in their life that they had entrusted pictures to, destroyed that trust. And we just think that this is just such a horrible aspect of the internet. I love the internet, I love data, I love everything that it's produced, but we think that there's a really excellent opportunity for people across a wide spectrum of uses for us to find the content that doesn't belong and take it down.
I mean, that is epic that you are able to help people who have been wronged with their image and likeness on the internet outside of deep fakes. Speaking of that, what are some of the biggest threats?
So if you're the everyday person, there's 3 big categories. One is kind of funny, but just it's not really much of a threat, but like a friend uploads something from high school, like some ancient image from forever ago, and you don't know them anymore. Like they didn't tag you in it because they don't even know your Instagram handle. But we can like capture that, right? But when it comes to threats, a real common tactic is you have a great hair day, you have a great skin day, and you make a reel, and some company steals that reel and says that you're taking their vitamin or that you're using their shampoo or something like some type of stuff. And then it's some company, that's, out of any kind of jurisdiction. And so there's an Instagram reel of an ad with your face, your voice, you're looking good. But it's promoting some product.
You can't even look cute anymore.
You can't even look cute, all right? Like, what a tragedy. The cuter you look, the more they're like, I want that person to rep my product. And you're not getting paid for that, of course. Yeah.
Who knows? Then we're super cute. So we might be having,
there could be lots of skincare, lots of hair care, lots of fashion.
Right, I need to talk to Luke after this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who knows how much skincare and hair products.
Is the AI chicks just out here
global repping?
Who knows, right? And it'd be great to capture all of that, right?
Especially if they're not paying us.
Yes.
That's the thing, right? You should get compensated, right?
Absolutely.
That's the easiest way.
Okay, on the back end then, so when you see something and it's time to police release it, confiscate it, take it down.
Yeah.
What does that look like for the receiving end?
We use these takedowns. There's DMCA if it's copywritten, but something like that is a right of publicity. It's this legal term of basically people aren't allowed to make money off of what you look like and sound like. It's the reason why someone can't snap a picture of you and just put it on a cereal box, right? Like why we don't see any of that is there's a lot of laws, especially like in California and in other states in the U.S. that prevent that. So we could basically issue these takedowns and say like, hey, this violates my client's right of publicity or right of privacy.
One thing I wanted to ask you as you were talking was about what people can do to be proactive. If you're someone that does do a lot of content for social media, whether you're an influencer, whether you have a law firm or an accounting firm, or you're a business broker like me, or maybe you're an executive producer and you want to talk about how to be an executive producer and you have an e-course, all these different ways that people are in this new economy of
Personal
money
brands,
and personal brands. What should we do first? Is there a way that we should be thinking about ourselves and our digital identities and how to protect ourselves? And are there some small steps that we can take to do so?
There's no preemptive way of like, put this one thing in a video and then it'll always be detected, right? I know there's a lot of hope that everyone has around like, we'll do these special watermarks, but all those tend to fail. They're just not that effective. They'll still figure out other ways. What we do is we'll take a video, like we could take this podcast, right? And we'll process through all of the video and we can understand the words that are spoken and we can understand who is speaking because we do voice recognition. And then there's general larger topics, right? So that we understand, we call it semantic space. Like, oh, this is loosely about AI, its pros and cons, and there's some thoughtful reflection about the industry and rights. Like, even though I never said the word thoughtful, well, now I did, I've ruined it. But even though the word thoughtful reflection has never come up, you'd be able to determine that based on our conversation. So if you can pull that much nuance from a video, there's no like one, like put this line or put this watermark in, like that can all just be erased. There's so much that can be withdrawn from the videos that you can't really protect that way. The big thing you can do to protect, and this is me just shamelessly plugging, is we are going to be working on trying to develop product for everyone at incredibly affordable, like starting at free kind of products. Because we do think that this is something that everyone needs. But there will be an industry of Loti and Loti-like companies, and I strongly recommend that everyone go and find the best one, obviously us. And I think that the price point will be incredibly reasonable, or like I said, it should be free. There should be a free tier for everyone. And I think that'd be the best way, just having something looking out for your likeness. So if something pops up on Instagram or, heaven forbid, a more harmful site, and you're just notified and you can hit a button and it goes away. That's how the internet should have always worked. And now we just have the technology to do that.
I love that we're just highlighting the array of how AI can be used for the protection of your digital identity, because a lot of people really just think about the deep fakes, but there could just be images, old photos, just any type of content out there of yourself that's either being misused or you just don't want up because someone else uploaded it. So there's a lot of different layers and tiers here of why what we're talking about is so important. Speaking of important, we've been talking a lot this season about the government elevating more and more into the AI space, implementing AI in a lot of different ways, cybersecurity, your identity, surveillance.
Yeah.
That also is related to privacy and your digital identity.
All right, so this is a big topic. It's legislation, it's new rules, it's protection, and it's what's the government doing in this space, right? I like this topic. There's a couple of laws that are coming down the pipe. We have like take it down. Take it down at a federal level is really solid work. It's the idea that if someone makes explicit deepfakes of anyone, that person reasonably should be able to pull it down, right? Like this makes a lot of sense. And then you have another law that's hopefully going to pass called no fakes, which is the same thing, but it's not, there's no limitation on it being explicit or not. It's just, if you are deep faked in any way, shape, or form, you should have the ability. If AI is used on your face or voice, you should be able to remove that. But it'll most likely have a broader aspect. It'll be one of the first right of publicity laws. So instead of us using all these little state laws to take something down, we could be a little bit lazier and just say like, well, there's one big law and it covers everyone in the U.S. So yeah, there's two really great pieces of federal legislation. And then you have ELVIS in Tennessee, which stands for Ensuring Likeness and Voice Security. And we've done some ELVIS takedowns. It took effect last July, and we July 1 when it took effect, we started issuing takedowns successfully too. We're all in on the state legislative efforts as well. But I would say this is probably one of the few times I've been excited about the government intervening. I think that there are real needs, that there's new rules that need to be made, and I feel like they're at least trying to be attentive to those new rules.
There's a lot of more policies and parameters around it. We're also seeing the preventive measures take place, even with businesses that are misrepresenting that they're doing certain type of AI tools that are misleading to the public when it comes to the AI space. In our scams and scandals episode, we talked about that. And for me, we're being encouraged that personal brand is more important than ever before. You have a lot of entrepreneurs, influencers, everyday people who feel like, oh, okay, I need to have a personal brand. The more that everyone in all the different industries are being encouraged to create content and put their likeness on the internet, it's going to be so important that we have these protections in place to avoid misuse and abuse and unauthorized use of people's likeness.
And I think when the different AI tools started coming out, the Hey Gens and 11 Labs and voices and imagery and how can you put yourself in different marketing. So a lot of the times it was, oh, I can record one video of myself and then I can just feed it 20 different scripts that I could have me saying, and then I could put it up for my clients. I thought that that was something that was interesting. Oh yeah, I could replicate myself and I could have multiple avenues of marketing, especially in the marketing of your personal brand. But then I had the concern of like, well, if I use one of these platforms, what's my right of my ownership of it? And I think that was something that I don't know if a lot of people really thought about, because I saw a lot of people jumping on and trying the product, but I don't know if they had that second level of thought about what rights you just gave away of yourself.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
We're using a lot of different AI platforms throughout even just producing and distributing this podcast. And so, we have certain tools that we're using during the post and editing process where it ingests our videos. It automatically identifies when Lana's talking, it automatically identifies when I'm talking. It gives us transcripts. It takes what each of us are saying and gives us bite-sized captions for our social media. But the difference is that we're using it on the internal side. And then we have the human distinction and freedom to post and share what we want to afterwards. So when you're talking about using these types of tools to help optimize and automate your process for your material, I think that's when it's great, right? There's that factor of it. And then there's a factor of when people are using the tools to abuse of someone else's likeness. So it's this dance we're dealing with where we're using it in one way, shape, or form, but then concerned about it on the other side.
Well, I think that was a really good point because, yes, if anyone takes your stuff, that's wrong. We can all agree to that. But I'm talking about you even using the tools, not realizing what rights you're giving away just by using the tool
within the platform.
Within the platform.
It'd be cool if there was like a matrix when you signed up. The standard, do I train on your voice? Do I train on your face? Then we can quickly evaluate. I know that it'll never replace, if any lawyers listening, I know it will never replace 15 pages of a EULA. But it would be cool if there was some kind of heads up. For us, we tend to have like a layman version at the top of our EULA, like, hey, you have 10 seconds. And we even write, like, this does not replace you needing to read the whole doc. But, if you do have just 10 seconds to evaluate it, this is what we do and we don't ask for. So, for instance, we ask for biometric rights. It's impossible to do face recognition without you saying, yeah, Luke, it's okay. I allow Loti to do biometric rights. And I want to be able to take those away as soon as I fire you, right? We're like, okay, I have no need for your biometric. If you're not going to be a client, then I have no issue giving that back.
But I think it's interesting that you just brought up biometric rights and also just biometrics, just for people to understand, like facial recognition, obviously being one of them, and voice recognition. But with facial recognition, how you open your iPhone.
Yeah.
If you have it based off of your facial recognition is giving
Apple
the right to scan your face.
And fingerprint, all of it,
You might be surprised at how much you actually already use it. When you're in the airport and you get scanned for your face, that's a biometric data. Now we understand that that's a government thing and we're complying, but I'm just letting people know this technology is not just if you create video on social media.
Right. It's not going to be blatant. You're making a great point, which is if you interact with a tool that's even using AI, so like you're not like some AI aficionado, you're not the AI chicks, right? But you still will use a product that uses AI in it. There's a good chance that the user agreement, the EULA, may in fact have like you giving up a little bit of your rights there. And so it's important that everyone see that.
So everyone needs to read the fine print.
Yeah, everyone read the fine print. Yes.
And you guys, we've had to test out a lot of AI tools to become the AI chicks. I mean, over hundreds and hundreds of AI tools we've had to check out.
Honestly, the only AI tool that I've been very hesitant to check out is the ones where they're going to create an actual avatar of me, because I wanted to make sure that I tried it out with a company that I really was very clear on the rules.
Yeah.
Of it.
Well, and we've been approached. We've actually had some preliminary conversations about building out some AI chick avatars. We'll leave that for when.
Don't drop the tea now.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. That's cool.
But we definitely have had those conversations of doing some, special strategic partnerships here and there. And we haven't really pulled the trigger yet because we want to make sure that we fully understand what we're giving out.
I wanted just to make it clear to our listeners. They might say, why would you use that? Well, you might want to send personalized emails to all of your customers saying their name in a video, to create that kind of personal customer relationship. I think a lot of people were very excited about that. Oh, I could send a quick 15-second, hey, Tom, so glad that you're a customer of ours. If you could give us a 5-star review. I just want to give people the ideas of how you can use the technology. It's not that the technology is bad. It's just you have to make sure you're partnering and using the right companies and tools.
So this is a great point, right? You both said it. You're not against these tools. And that's the complexity here, is that none of us are really against them. It needs to be thought through how we do rights and how we communicate them. Like, for instance, we can't just ban AI because the AI is really useful. It's akin to, I'm a big guy. I like to eat, right? And it would be so much easier for me if I never had to eat at all. I'd lose weight quick. But if I just need food to live. I wouldn't have to ever diet or figure it out. The complexity comes when you need a little bit of it, but how much? As a big guy, I'm trying to figure out the right amount of food to both live and be healthy. We kind of have the same situation with AI, right? We know we need a little bit of it. It's useful. I mean, even think about how we have 40 different AI models that make up what we do, right? And that's required to find you in bad situations and remove it. That's a good use of AI in my mind. We don't really want to ban that. It would be hard for someone to make the case of people should be able to upload bad pictures of people and they should stay up there forever. That's kind of a really insane take on the internet. And so we can all agree there's good uses of it. Or medicine is using AI in incredible ways to help us all live longer.
Yeah.
But how much do we need is the tricky part. So I hear both of you on that. I also love a lot of these tools. And I think it's going to be great as we all... And it's going to be a society conversation, try to figure out what rules make sense for us, how much AI makes sense for us.
What's that one piece of advice that you would give to everyday people, creators, business owners, whoever you want to zero in on, or everybody?
Talk about creators, because I think that they have the most to think about right now. Creators are getting approached. I would say that you should come up with a defense and an offense strategy. You should think about, from a defense perspective, what do I want to be allowed? Right? What kinds of things? What is the most hostile thing I'd be okay with, right? If someone uses me and makes me sound stupid, but it's satirical and it's critical of my work, am I going to be a good sport and be actually, I'll allow that. That's criticism. I'm okay with that. Or if you're actually, no, that hurts me. I have a mission to talk about and I don't need anything that's really dissenting right now that distracts from my mission. There's no right or wrong. You just have to figure out your defense. And for offense, the same. There's really good uses of you wanting to create AI of yourself, and you're going to have to find the balance of authenticity versus automation, right? This is authentically Luke talking to you, right? But if I had sent an AI twin of myself to this podcast, you would have turned it off in 30 seconds. Be this is ridiculous.
Unless we sent our AI twins to talk to you too, and then all of our AI people are talking to each other.
Special episode coming up next.
That's right. That would be funny because it's authentic automation. But yeah, you get it. So for offense, it's authenticity versus automation, and defense, it's basically dissent versus how much do I need to protect my reputation?
Yeah,
that's a good point.
And knowledge is king. There's a lot of different facets of what we're getting into. But thank you so much, Luke, for pointing out the offense and the defense for those that are building their personal brand, already have a personal brand, and looking ahead to what's coming next with this AI revolution. Before we wrap up, we have to play a game.
So, Luke, we play a nickname game here at the AI Chicks, okay, where we basically welcome you into the AI squad by giving you a nickname.
Love it.
Do you have any nicknames that you go by that we should know about?
I'll quickly tell you one. When I was in high school, everyone called me Bear. But now my son, who's 7, everyone calls him Bear. So I've like lost the nickname to my son.
Oh,
Papa Bear.
No one calls me Papa Bear, but thank you very much. Yeah, I've never heard of anyone losing their nickname, but I definitely have lost my nickname.
Your nickname got stolen by
got
your
stolen.
son. As we've been talking about everyone taking your likeness.
My son did, yeah.
You're Papa Bear now. Should we just call him Papa Bear? Okay. I do have one that I want to throw out there.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about how Luke has been going around doing all the takedowns, sort of helping out people, saving lives on their digital identity. I'm just feeling like there's a little Luke Skywalker happening. I feel like, you know, we got AI Skywalker.
Disney Corporation, please ignore the infringement.
AI Skywalker, could we do that?
Yeah, you know what? I like that. I was thinking about how I was like, he's like the AI police. I'm like,
Okay.
what can we do, Officer Luke? Like,
Officer Luke.
Yeah,
All right.
Because
I think I'd
was
rather
like,
go with
he's like-
Skywalker. I think I'd rather infringe.
I think it might be
I
cooler.
think I'd rather
yeah.
infringe. Yeah.
I agree.
Speaking of stealing likenesses and identity,
Yeah.
I'm like, let's take one from Disney.
No doubt. Actually, no doubt. I'd rather be Skywalker than Officer. So let's go with that.
I agree with that.
I'm actually pretty convicted on this. Let's go with
Yes,
that one.
I love it. I love it. Welcome to the AI squad. We got AI Skywalker in the house. And one more game. We're going to throw a new game at you, okay? As we talk about deep fakes, what's real, what's fake, we want to throw out a game called Real or AI.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to read and describe an existing technology.
Okay.
And we want you to let us know, is this a real product or it's made up?
I like the game. Let's play it.
Okay. All right, ready? We're going to do a couple. I'll start with this one. All right. It's an AI-powered glasses that recognizes people's emotions and displays them as emojis in the screen.
Entirely possible. I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say that that's real or AI?
I'm going to go with real because I know I could build that.
All right.
Well, then you might need to build it because it's fake.
Is it fake? Oh,
Yes.
I'm not sure why anyone would need it, but that's definitely buildable. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's throw one more out there.
Yeah.
There is a chatbot therapist that helps users with anxiety and depression through cognitive behavior therapy.
Yes, that is a company.
Yes,
ding,
you're
ding,
right.
ding, ding, ding. Should we do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
There is an AI that can generate bedtime stories based on the child's name, favorite animal, and even a random moral lesson. Is that real or AI?
I mean, I did that with my kids, so I don't know if it's a company, but yes, I'm going to go with yes.
Yes!
Yeah.
Ding, ding,
All right,
ding.
cool.
This has been such a great conversation. I think you gave our listeners a lot of things to think about. And guys, you know, digital identity is here. AI is here. So it's really not about going against it. It's just about figuring out what's right for you and just doing the things to protect yourself and your digital identity.
Yeah, and to plan out your offense and your defense.
Yeah.
Luke, we hope that you enjoyed being on the AI Chicks.
I did very much. Thank you for having me.
Everyone, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. And make sure to follow, subscribe, and what else, Lana?
Don't forget to grab the merch.
All right, you guys, take care. Bye.
Listen to the AI Chicks on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Video episodes are available on Patreon. And check out our socials at The AI Chicks.